Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Danny. We have just seen Jimmy Joe Flint defeat Campbell Hatton for the second time of asking. Um, Another good fight. This was kind of the chief support for tonight, wasn't it, Danny? We saw there was a very late pullout between the Reece Pelosi Michael Gomez fight, which was set up to be a fantastic fight. That fight's no longer going ahead, so we were treated to a good fight. Maybe a better fight than last time. We can discuss that. But give me your immediate reaction, Danny.
Yeah, really enjoyed the fight. These two are well matched. The first fight was entertaining. This fight potentially slightly more entertaining. I thought the right man won. I thought the scorecards were a bit close to my liking. I had Jimmy Joe Flint winning a bit wider than the judges did. But I thought, to be fair, Campbell Hatton did show some improvement,
Mm.
particularly earlier. He looked a bit better. The commentary was referencing he was fainting a lot more. I think he looked as if he was punching slightly harder. I mean, I don't think he was ever really hurting Jimmy Joe Flint at any stage. I think he was a bit fitter. He didn't gas quite as badly in this fight for my money as he did the first time round, but just Flint was technically again just that step ahead of him. Just his punches were thrown straighter and shorter. He had better feet than Hatton, even though Hatton's feet were slightly better. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyable fight. The right result for me. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if you consider what's happened to the Reece Pelosi Mike Gomez fight, it was all a bit doom and gloom on the old Twitter or X as it's now called. But it's now to actually have a good fight is refreshing. So I enjoyed it. I just think Campbell Hatton, it's one of those where like he's lost again, but I'm not saying like his stock's gone up, but I'm just saying like I think he'll be more respected now. He's gone 10 hard rounds. He's kind of got a cut early on. And I do think, in my opinion, halfway through the fight, 5, 6 rounds, I think it was quite even. I just think round 7 to 10, Flint, I don't know if it was experience or an engine, just pulled away and deservedly won the fight. I'm with you on the scorecards. I think just read them out to you 97, 94, 96, 94, 96, 95. All to Flint. We're here talking about scorecards again, are we? It's not quite Biturbia Bivol, but we're still talking about scorecards. How did you have it, Danny? If you were a judge, how did you have that one?
I would honestly, I didn't. I struggle to see how you could have gave Campbell Hatton more than 3 rounds. To be honest, like he was throwing more punches, but and I know this was the debate in the Beterbiev Bibble fight, but Campbell Hatton's weren't really landing like at all. At all, the Bibbles were sort of or Beterbievs were landing glove and face, whereas Campbell Hatton was just sort of throwing a lot of punches. They were like hitting the side of the gloves or going sort of behind the head, and then a clinch was happening, and I think for the most part in the clinches, Jimmy Joe Flint done the better work. Like they're not completely egregious scorecards, but when you factor in, say Campbell Hatton had won that last round, he would have won the fight, or it would have been a draw, something like that. I mean that the first scorecard, the 97-94, I think that's a fairly fair reflection, but. I suppose the main thing is the right man won, but there's no point going over and over again. What are we going to do about these scorecards? Because obviously nothing's going to change.
Yeah, look, we might as well just kind of put on repeat some of the conversations we've had in the past because I'm sure we'd be saying too many different things. What do you think Campbell Hatton will do next, Danny? Still only 23 years old, still a young man. This is 2 defeats in a row. Was also his 16th professional fight. He has been around a little while now, Campbell Hatton. What do you think he will do next? Obviously, he could just kind of maybe have a win against the journeyman next time out, get some more experience. Do you think he'll maybe go after more fights at that same Jimmy Joe Flint level, that area level? What do you think we'll see Campbell Hatton do next?
Depends what his ambitions are and what his goals are specifically and what he wants to achieve from boxing. Look, he's clearly got the minerals for it. It was a pretty bad cut. Didn't seem to bother him too much. When he was hurt in the last round, he would fire back. I remember in the first fight with Jimmy Joe Flint, when he was very tired, he didn't stop trying. So he's clearly got that side of things, which is, I suppose you could say you've got more chance of making it if you've got that and you lack the skills than vice versa. But I mean, he's not going to be a world champion, is he? I mean, British title would be an amazing achievement from where he is now. Would take a lot of work, and you wonder, is Eddie Hearn gonna stick with him and continue to put on area level fights? I think that's a big question. I think if the best route he could take financially, and this is gonna sound terrible, and this is gonna be your headline, but would be to go to Misfits boxing. He would be a big name in that scene. Obviously, we've seen one of Prince Nassim's sons is over there making a big wave, and I think Campbell Hatton would be financially better rewarded over there than he would for, area level fights. And you can't even say like without it, he'll get to English level in what, a year or 2 years. So it depends what his goals are. I think probably given his age, worse fighters at that age have maybe gone on to win British title. I know Curtis Woodhouse, the former footballer, started boxing like 27, 28, went on to win a British title.
Yeah.
So he could achieve that sort of thing, but it depends what his goals are, financially, depends what this promoter and that's willing to do. Is Ben Davison willing to keep him there? There's a lot of variables that we don't really know the answer to.
Yes, it's an interesting one. I think one thing I would say is I think the only people who thought Campbell Hatton was going to go on and be a world champion were possibly people who hadn't seen him box before and just knew who his dad was. I don't think I could be wrong here, but I'm not sure he's ever come out himself or his dad or his uncle or his team have come out and said this guy's the next big thing. He's going to be as good as his dad was. He's going to be a star. So I just think fair play to him. He's had two tough fights. I don't think he's humiliated himself in either fight. He's just come up slightly short. On the Misfits thing, I just don't. I don't think that will happen personally, but you can't rule it out because I think that there's nothing stopping Misfits saying to Campbell Hatton, "Do you want to come and face this YouTuber? You'll probably win, and it'll be for a lot of money." So I think it's possible. We'll see. Final question, Danny. Do want to touch on the winner tonight, Jimmy Joe Flint. How how far do you think he can go? He's kind of obviously not got the prettiest records, but he's a very, very, very tough man. Can you see this guy winning an English title? You can see him maybe challenging for a British title. Can you see him returning to the TVs? Obviously, when you take away the two Campbell Hatton fights, I think he's been fighting in the leisure centres in Rotherham and Doncaster, places like that. What can you see him doing?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he's obviously not got the prettiest face. And I was like, gee,
No.
that's a bit Um, obviously he's an area level fighter. I mean, he lost that belt fight after Campbell Hatton to a fighter whose name escapes me, but not someone I think many people had heard of, not someone with much of an amateur pedigree or doing anything of note in the pros before that. So I think he is an area stroke English level fighter, even though he's relatively young himself. I know he does look a bit older, but I think he's 27, 28. So, maybe English title level, but he's a capable fighter, and he's a very good benchmark for the likes of Campbell Hatton. Any other prospects are coming through, so I think you will probably see him on a big TV show again, but very much as the opponent, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he'll get an opportunity. He's someone who's entertained fans. He's someone who's a name people know. So I do think he will get an opportunity, whether that's on the zone or a different platform in the next few months. Danny, we'll leave it there. We will enjoy the main event now, Jack Catterall, Regis Prograis. But yeah, good fight. Again, disappointed we didn't get Marco Gomez versus Reece Biloli, but it is what it is. Danny, I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Cheers, mate.